Welcome, my name is Marcella, and this is a restorative practice designed to alleviate tension and discomfort in the low back and hips. As someone who has experienced sciatica and tension in the hips for quite some time, I know that when it comes to exercises, one size does not fit all. So please do not force any of these movements. And if any of them increase or activate your pain, please ease off of them, take a modification, or skip ahead in the video to the next exercise. The only prop you'll need for this practice is a pillow. And if you have yoga blocks, you might want to have those handy as well. We'll start lying face down on our belly. Reach your legs long behind you and make a little cushion for your forehead by stacking your hands one on top of the other. This might already feel really, really good. Take some long, deep breaths here, filling up the belly and releasing. Letting everything soften. And on your next couple of exhales, start to firm up your low abdominals. So take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, you're just going to gently press your pubic bone down, lift your low abdominals. It's a very subtle motion, hugging them up towards your spine. Inhale, release, let your belly get soft. And exhale, gently draw your belly in, lengthening your low back. Two more like that. This is just gently mobilizing the lower spine and activating the abs to support our low back. Last one. And on this one, hold that firmness in your belly. It doesn't have to be 100%, maybe 50% activated. We're just going to lift our right leg off the mat. So you'll feel the back of your leg fire up a little bit, maybe your glute, maybe a little bit into your low back. If it's painful, please lower the leg as much as you need to. It doesn't need to be high, it could just be a couple of inches. And lower that leg down, reach the left leg up, lengthen that leg, and lower, and just switch back and forth a few more times. This is a good strengthener for the glutes and the low back. And you might feel that the fronts of your hips get a little bit longer as you're sort of walking your feet back behind you a bit more. Still staying with the breath. Last time. And lower down. Let's make our way up to our forearms, coming into a Sphinx pose. And if Sphinx pose doesn't feel good, you can go right back down to that same position we were just in. Try to find a relaxed spine in your Sphinx, allowing your shoulders to reach away from your ears, lightly pressing into your hands, reaching the crown of the head up towards the ceiling. You can stay right here, or try once again, lifting one leg at a time, gently activating the back of the leg. And this time the motion will probably be a lot smaller. And if you're feeling this in your low back in a bad way, just gently draw your abdominals up to meet your spine a bit more. Sending the heart forwards. Good, and then lower your feet down. We're going to slide our fingertips down, back underneath our shoulders. And a few times take a baby cobra pose. Elbows squeezing back and in, reaching the heart forward, not too much weight in the hands here. And then slowly lower your spine down to the mat. You can stay fingertips or palms underneath your shoulders. Inhale, lift your head and shoulders. Exhale, lower. One more time, inhale, lift. And exhale, lower down. And let's make our way around onto our backs. Moving gently. Plant your feet underneath your knees pointing up to the ceiling, palms down by your sides. And we're going to take a gentle pelvic rock here. So you're just going to tuck your hips under a little bit, like you're massaging your low back into the mat. And then tip your pubic bone down between your legs, finding a slight arch in the low spine. Again, making sure that you're staying within your personal range. And then find a neutral position in between those 2 points where your pelvis is nice and relaxed. And we're going to do that same thing side to side. So you're going to press lightly into the right side of your pelvis. Your left hip bone might reach up a little bit, and then press lightly into the left side of your pelvis. The right hip bone reaches up a little bit. So gently massaging the lowest parts of your spine and your pelvis into the mat. Good, and then come back to neutral. Really establish that neutral position with your pelvis where you're not tipping or tucking under. And let's bring our legs up to a tabletop position. If tabletop position is too much on your low back, draw your knees in a little bit closer to your chest. The goal is to get your knees stacked over your hips, shins parallel to the floor. We're going to reach our arms up as well. And as you're holding here, I want you to really squeeze your low belly in. Activating those low abdominals. Finding that squeeze. And then let's hold with that firmness in the belly at around 60-70%. We're going to start to extend our left leg long, right arm overhead. As you do that, you're going to have to engage your abs more so you're not rocking in the pelvis at all. Pelvis stays still, just the legs move, the leg and the arm. Other side, right leg reaches, left arm reaches. Hugging the abs in, draw that knee back to center. Again, right arm, left leg. You want to be able to stabilize the pelvis. Often the cause of our pain, keep switching back and forth, comes from not having enough awareness in those parts of our body. So we tend to injure them or over or underuse them. Couple more each side. Last one. Good, gently hug your knees into your chest. Release the front of your hips, and then lower your feet to the mat. Have your feet hip-width distance apart, knees straight up to the ceiling, press your palms down. Let's lift up into a bridge pose. So send your hips high, keeping the ribs nice and soft and downward. So we're not popping them open, arching our low back, arching our upper back. We're keeping the ribs closed, lifting our hips. Take a peek down your body and make sure that your knees aren't swaying out to the side. We're hugging them into line with our hip sockets. And we'll slowly lower the hips, hover them a couple of inches off the mat, and then lift them back up. We'll do a few more like that, lowering the hips and then lifting them high. Lower, lift and squeeze. 2 more. Connecting your breath with the movement. Last one. And then lower your hips all the way down. Walk your feet to the width of your mat. Reach your arms out to the side. We're just going to gently windshield wiper our knees, so letting them fall lightly over to the right, back through the center, and over to the left. Finding a gentle twist in the spine. Again, not forcing any of these movements. And the next time your knees are on the right, hold there. Breathe, release into this position. If you want a little bit more, you can reach your arms overhead, clasp opposite elbows, and then try to relax your elbows down to the mat overhead. Switching sides, knees go to the left. If you're clasping your elbows, switch your clasp to the other elbow on top. Slowly unravel, make your way out of that position. Gently move around to one side and make your way to hands and knees. And then when you get there, tuck your toes, plant your hands. We're going to lift our hips into a downward dog shape. So downward dog might look different for you. Feel free to bend your knees as much as you like. The point is not to have a perfect down dog shape, but to feel stable. Ground down through your hands, ground down through your toes. Gently soften your heels towards the mat. And then take a few bends and extends with the knees. So bending deeply into the knees and then extending the legs as much as feels comfortable for you. Again, bending and extending. 2 more. Last one. And then on this one, we'll lower our knees all the way down to the mat, finding your tabletop position. 2 gentle cat-cows here. Inhale, reaching the heart forward. Exhale, rounding the spine, pressing into your hands. Inhale, reach the heart forward. Exhale, round. Come back to your neutral spine, tuck your toes, lift your hips, downward dog. Stay in your downward dog or shift your weight to your left foot. Reach your right leg up, keeping that right hip square to the mat. Bend your right knee and draw some circles with your right knee. Trying to isolate this movement in the right hip socket so we're not twisting our back. Our shoulders and hips stay square. Switch the direction of your circle. And then lower that right foot down. Lower your knees down, 2 cat-cows. Inhale forward, exhale round. Making this movement as small as you need. And then tucking your toes, lifting your hips, downward dog. Shifting into the right foot, if you're ready, reaching the left leg up, bending that left knee, drawing some circles with that left knee. Mobilizing the left hip socket, switching the direction of your circle, keeping the pelvis stable. And then lower that foot down. Lower your knees down, sit back to your heels, either with your toes tucked or pointed, and relax your arms. If it feels good, you can interlace your hands at your low back, extend your arms, and take a brief shoulder stretch here. Good, release your hands, reach your hands back to your tabletop position. Bring your right leg forward, so either between your hands or around to the side of your hands. And then we'll make our way into a low lunge. Now here's a great time to place that pillow underneath your left knee, your back knee, to pad that knee so you don't feel any discomfort and you can really relax into this stretch. If you have blocks and the floor feels kind of far away, feel free to grab your blocks and rest your hands on blocks. Otherwise, come up to your fingertips. Make sure your right knee is stacked directly over your right ankle. And breathe into this stretch in the left hip flexors, the front of the left hip. Gently keep drawing your low belly up away from your right thigh. And breathe. Keep your left fingertips or palm down. Peel your right arm gently towards the ceiling, finding a twist. Now, if having the right arm up feels uncomfortable, you can lightly rest that right hand on your right thigh and just work on finding that rotation in the spine. As little or as much as feels good. Let's lower that right hand down to the inside of your right foot. Gently press your right knee into your right shoulder and your shoulder into your knee, and then peel the left arm open. Or take that hand to your low back, gently reaching the left shoulder up. Keeping your hips square to the mat. And gently unwind. Bring one hand back to either side of the right foot, and let's gently extend and bend the right leg. So going back as far as you need, walking your hands back, straightening the right leg as much as feels good, and then bending into that right knee, reaching the heart forward. So the leg does not have to get straight. Flexing the right foot is optional. Last time. And then slowly bring that right foot back to meet the left. We're going to switch sides, so gently move your pillow over underneath the right knee and bring your left foot forward in between your hands. Softening into this stretch in the front of the right hip. Connecting to your breath, making sure you're not aggravating your pain or discomfort. And then gently leaning into the right hand or the right fingertips, peeling the left arm open, finding a gentle twist, or resting that left palm on the left thigh. Slowly unravel. We'll plant the left hand down. Gently press the left shoulder into the left knee back into that left arm, and peel the right arm open. Or gently rest the back of your right hand on your lower back. Keeping your hips nice and square. Slowly unwind. One hand to either side of the left foot. We'll bend and extend the left leg a few times. Gently opening your left hamstring. Great work. Slowly make your way back to a tabletop position. Take your pillow out from under your knee, and we'll make our way around to a seat. Find your seat, plant your hands behind you, fingertips out. We're gonna ground down through the feet, lift our hips away from the mat, squeeze our glutes, lifting the hips high. Gently walk the left foot towards your midline, so a little closer to your right foot. And if you can, we're gonna reach the right leg up and hook your right ankle across your left knee. It's a little outer hip stretch for the right leg. Then we're going to gently lower the hips and lift them back up. Finding a range of motion that feels like a good stretch without causing any pain. 2 more. Last one. Lower that right foot down. Lower your hips down, give your arms a little bit of a break. Take the soles of your feet together, find a butterfly position with your legs. Reach your spine long, and then gently start to lean your heart forward. Keeping your spine nice and long, not worrying about getting too deeply into the stretch here. Coming back up to a seat, plant your feet, plant your hands behind you, other side, lift your hips high, walk your right foot a little bit more towards the midline, lift your left leg up, cross your left ankle over your right knee or thigh. Lower the hips down and lift them up. Gently pressing that left ankle down into your thigh, keeping the left foot flexed. 2 more. Last one. Unhook your left foot, lower your hips down. We're going to make our way all the way down to our backs. Bring your pillow with you. Lying on your side, rest your right ear on your pillow and scooch your right shoulder so that it's all the way underneath you. So your shoulders are completely stacked, your hips are completely stacked. Bend your knees and draw them up towards your chest a little bit, and then reach your arms forward, palms together. You're going to start to slide your left palm along your right, slide your left knee forwards as well. So you might feel a little stretch on the right hip as you do this. It's very subtle, it's not meant to be a big deep stretch. And then draw that left hand back, draw that left knee back. Again, reaching the fingertips forward, the left knee forward, and then drawing the shoulder back, the hip back. Last 2. Breathing. Last 1. And then you're going to leave your knees stacked where they are. We're going to peel the left arm open as far as you can without leaning back into that left hip. Keeping your hips stacked, opening the left shoulder up, and then reverse that. Slide your left palm down your right arm. Again, peeling the left arm open, keeping your knees stacked. Reverse, slide your left hand down your arm. Last time, peel that arm open. This time you can relax into a twist for a couple of breaths. And then reverse, come back to your starting position. We're going to roll over and do the other side. I'm just going to turn around so that I can be facing you. Stacking your right hip on top of your left, tucking that left shoulder underneath your right, resting your head down. Starting with those slides of the palm and knee, reaching the right knee and the right fingertips forward, feeling a very gentle, subtle stretch on the left hip. And then sliding that palm back, sliding that knee back. Again, slide forward. And then gently restack your shoulder and hip. 2 more. Last one. Good, and then we'll do some upper thoracic rotations, peeling the right arm open, keeping your hips totally stacked, and then reverse, sliding your right hand down your left arm. Again, peeling the right arm open, hips stay stacked, knees stay stacked, and then reverse. Last time, you can hold that open position wherever it feels comfortable in your body for a gentle twist. Slowly come out and make your way onto your back for a Shavasana, a final resting pose. You can keep your pillow underneath your head, reach your limbs long, and completely relax your body, allowing all of that information to integrate into your body. Take as much time as you need here. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope that you feel a little bit better or a lot better.